Hello and Allahu Akbar, the Baha'i greeting to all the people of the earth. My name is Abbas Tamori. I'm the elder of Baha'ullah on the planet Earth. My mission is to promulgate Baha'i faith and make people aware of themselves, of their destiny, and if I could be of any help to everyone. Tonight I'm going to speak to the people of the United Kingdom, by whom I mean the English people of Scotland, Ireland and Wales. Since I haven't been in England and we have some kind of a convoluted idea that we think all of you are the same, they're all English. But we know you as Great Britain and the people of England. The people that I have been really infatuated with from my childhood. People are like files, the characters. Most of these files contains the characters are unfortunately written by other agencies, whether it is your nation, your culture, your geography, your religion, your mom and dad. So we're all not ourselves, really. It takes power to want to delete everything and rewrite his own character, what he is, who he is, what he likes, what he doesn't like. When I was in Iran, till age 22, I suppose, then I was in Iran, I did not have a very good impression from the English people, because they were all saying that English is conniving, colonialists, the people that cheats other people, they steal and rob the nations. That kind of things was there. As soon as I became Baha'i myself, I saw the Muslim, of course, attacking me and attacking Baha'i faith and saying a lot of untrue, statements, including saying that Baha'i faith is made by England. English are behind it. It's a conspiracy of English. I'm sure it's not by England. I'm not sure English people have anything to do with it. They have not made and created Baha'i faith. It's not made by them, but ironically, it is made for them. This is what I found later on in my life. So then kind of my idea got changed, especially because I was going to Hollywood movies and books. God, I have read many books. Even those books of Charles Dickens. So I came, then a revolution came in Iran and I went to India. Now I saw English people, their work in practice. Indians are very peculiar people. I was in South in Madras. I used to be at college, Bishop River College. I had two professors, Wesley and Rangarajans. They still were talking very good about English people. They said that they built the whole India. The money that English people, they took from us, the wealth that they took from India is not nearly enough for what they left for us. We could never be able to hire England as English country to come and build our railways. They were very proud of their railways made by English, as in fact the collateral of their money. So Persians have one saying. They say that the knowledgeable enemy is better than a stupid friend. And if you call English enemy, this saying comes right because they were fruitful and useful everywhere they went. They were businessmen, they took something, but they left a lot more. This curiosity of English people as a nation is very amazing. Basically, they traveled everywhere in the world. They picked the words from every culture, every language. The English dictionary is the richest vocabulary by far from any other existing language in the world. It's simply because they were open-minded people, and they would find that they have to adopt to other words and other cultures. Everywhere that was good, they would add it to the English culture. I don't have to bring those words for you, but you surely know. For example, in Iran, they don't say the king of Iran, they say Shah of Iran, because Persian use the Shah. Or they don't say prime minister, they say vizier, which means, you know, at the old time they used the word vizier. Yeah, Persian, they're always telling me that you don't look like an Iranian. You know, you see English movies, you try to learn English, you go Americans, and now you change your religion too, because I became Baha'i, and I just felt that I'm totally parachuted in the wrong country, don't belong to here. So I came to Canada from India. Now it was my third encounter with English people. Now I see them, actually, I shake their hand, and I found them wonderful people. Now these are Canadians, but they're really English descent. I remember those days, I've said it in my series of talk, that there was, I had a problem because I was so poor. I just came to the country, I had a child even. And who helped me? The Englishman. His name is John Henry. And I never asked him for any money. I did ask all the Iranians in the city of Thunder Bay to help, and nobody did help me. I had to go and sleep probably some Salvation Army place, because I had no place, I had no down payment to pay my rent. All the friends, the so-called friends, they were not friends. But this man, John Henry, tall Englishman, he said, Abbas, I have worked last week in Kakabeko Falls, and I have this $800 and I want to give it to you. And I asked him, what's the occasion? He said that, well, you know, you use it, and then when you made someday money, maybe you can just give donation to Assembly, to Baha'i Fund, to anything you want to do. Well, if that money wasn't there, I would have not been able to pay my rent. The second thing this man did, he actually made a salesman out of me. He took me at the door to show to me how Canada is. He was teaching Baha'i faith, and I was with him, and I started to talk, and I saw how friendly and polite these people are. Despite of all these things, they say Englishman is cold, is icy, and all that. They're very warm-blooded people. It's just the way they are intelligent is different, you know, from other people. People in Iran or Middle East are very emotional, and they show a lot of emotion, but not action, really. English people in Canada that I've encountered, they may not show that much of an emotion, but when it comes to action, they're decisive. They do a lot of help to the entire world. So that made me to appreciate the people of England much more. And I tried to understand, you know, the country I came to be the member of, because I felt totally welcomed in Canada. In Iran, they were telling me, how are you going to make money? You're all poetry and, you know, talk, religion. These things is not going to make money, boy, for you. And I agreed with them. I didn't know how to work among these people. But when I came to Canada, things changed. All of a sudden, I found these people were totally, you know, just like that Hans Christian Andersen story. I was an ugly duckling till I found my people. Then I found I'm not too bad, I'm okay. So I immediately started my own business, whatever, I made money, and I was helped by the other Canadian, John Gervais, who was a French background actually. And he helped me to learn the job, and John Henry taught me how to sell the jobs, you know, physics and metaphysics with these two people. So as I said, I was thinking about England. What a, you know, elusive people. how is everything has happened. So I studied, asked questions. My knowledge comes mostly from TV, some books, movies, to understand the fabric of these English people. Now today, I'm going to just briefly say what I've said before. In the beginning of mankind, the questions that was asked was answered, that the common answers was accepted by people. It created a mythology in a group of people. Mythologies, they all died, like Babylonian, Egyptians, Greek. The Hebrew mythology remained and evolved and turned into religion, from which we have the rise of Abraham and Moses. Abraham had two children. One was Isaac from Sarah, and other was Ishmael from Hagar. The two wives, I guess they would not get along, and Abraham had an order from God to take Hagar all the way back to Saudi Arabia. In course of time, from Isaac, the son of Sarah and Abraham, Jesus Christ comes, and Christianity, which, engulfed Europe. And from Ishmael, the religion of Islam and the Prophet Muhammad came. As we look at the history, when Moses came and further evolution of the religion, Moses brought laws from God. But these laws were, for 1500 years, not known very well. They would not be transferred and sold, basically. 1500 years passed till Jesus Christ bloomed out of the Old Testament. And this young Jewish messenger of God, manifestation of God, proliferated Judaism and took it and sold it to the entire planet. However, this was not a very strong ideology to deal with those of the Greeks, because those who were handling Christianity didn't understand it well. So since Greek mythology comes, just like a virus was just killing Christianity, and Christians anyways, and it started the Dark Ages. But as that with the story, God had a different plan. He had also a backup plan, sending Ishmael. Muhammad comes out of him. Islam was an update to the Christianity. If Christianity is Windows 95, let's say Mr. Bill Gates, you could say Islam is Windows 98. It didn't crash under the weight of the Greek philosophies. Muslims, they took these philosophies and the science very well, worked compatible with Islam, and they turned into tons of philosophers and books and knowledgeable and scientists, as you know. Now these two, Christianity and Islam, finally they come and meet each other, just like the continental plate of the planet. Underneath are represented by the continental plate of the spiritual continental plate, which are Christianity and Islam. They go and they create a huge earthquake. Just like the earthquake, physical earthquake, it was a social, political earthquake on the planet. As a result of this, I get this clash in many ways. I explain it. It's just like the two chromosomes, when they divided at one point of chiasma. Muslim transferred all this knowledge they had to the Christians. Christian, in fact, grabbed it. You very well know the book of Avicenna was taught in Oxford in England. It was the greatest medicine man of all, is Avicenna. So, and it seems the baton of the science was given to the European. Europe took it, thirsty Europe, and they dealt with the church, as you know, starting from Copernicus and Galileo and whatnot, and revolution and renaissance otherwise occurred in Europe. Among the European now, natural evolution, some kind of a competition happens. That in this competition we can see the people of England show themselves to be totally superior than the rest of the nations. I can't mention the scientists, but I know that England alone has more scientists than the rest of the Europe combined, whether it's in chemistry of Robert Boyle or in the theories of evolution of Mr. Darwin, which has created an upheaval in the world, or the what about the Isaac Newton, the greatest of them all, that essentially brought a new mathematics, a new formula that still governs the world. But in every area the dialogue, English was superior. And even if you look today, when it comes to the science of the atoms and atomic sciences, it was the British who actually broke the atom, the unbreakable. What was his name? J.J. Thomson in 1905. He found electron. Then it was Sir Rutherford, you know, a New Zealander, English background, later a Canadian, and finally went back to England. He further told us about the proton and neutron, and goes on till now you have, you know, Stephen Hawking, my favorite scientist. Everything comes from this nation. It's very amazing. They had an impact on the entire planet. I've studied them to see why were they doing this, how they were mechanized to do this. One of the things I found about the English people, you people that I'm talking to, was that it seems England was coming, all the people come from mainland Europe in England. Who's England? The English people are Saxons, they are Celtics, they are Angles, they are Wales, what are the Germans, from Sweden, from all over. So Europe's somehow refined by going to England. Those who were more capacity, more evolved, they wanted to go there. The same thing happens in Japan. From mainland China, they go to Japan, and they seem they were the selected, the better ones, the one that wanted to have more adventure, and they want to distinguish themselves. Japanese were a different breed of the same Mongolian race. So is the British people, a different, higher breed of the rest of the Europeans. They had this mingling between them. Many people of different places, you know. Highlanders, you know, look how different they are from Vikings, but are a major part of England today. This distinguishing character and uniqueness they had, it went on to create basically their own religion. They felt that who they are and what they are, they cannot be a part of Vatican. They changed it, you know, King James translated the Bible, changed the Bible. Major step was taken. It shows again adaptation of English people, that they knew at a time, because of changes they're going through, they can't keep these old ideas as such for themselves. It has to be custom sized, custom made to fit the English nation. That's where the Anglican Church comes in. In other area, I've just also, you know, put my magnifying glass under. Their philosophy was different from the rest of the Europe. They were empiricists, they were empirical, as opposed to dualists in France, you know. They said, no, things are as they are, we're taking on the face value, and that it was the secret of their discovery in all the areas of the science. So, let's go to my notes that I've made, people. So we spoke about their language, and the language English also. There had this was another peculiarity about the English people. Unlike any other people of the Europe, they were just simply curious. Just wanted to go everywhere in the world. They have impacted the whole world. The English words are in every language of the world, and those words are just as in English language, as I said. Because they just wanted to know what the planet is. It seemed the planet was getting surveyed by the English people. They wanted to know what it is everywhere it is. Everywhere there's a secret, they go to it. The pyramid was bugging them. They had to solve it. They solved it. Even when you look in the old countries, the upheaval they had in the First World War before and all that, in the battle that they had in Europe, the getting rid of the Ottoman Empire, which was a very brutal empire, and Turkish people were suffering from it too. See things that happened, for example. The Edict of Toleration in 1844, it was done by Queen Victoria, that allowing the Jews for the first time to go to their land. It's amazing, isn't it? Look at the reforms. They created Saudi Arabia. You all know about the work of that Lawrence of Arabia, I don't know his last name. But what a magnificent work he did there. The center of Islam, they owed to this English man, the formation of the Saudi Arabia. One of the people anyways. Even as I said in India, that all the good words that we're hearing from Indian about them, so when you look at it, this sense of curiosity, this uniqueness from the rest of the European, widening of the language, changing of the philosophy, and specializing the religion and make more specific type of Christianity. This was it. I'll tell you what happened, in my opinion. As I said, this is stories of Abraham coming down and these clashes of the Crusaders. God was looking for a contractor to build the planet. Yes. So the baton, when the Muslim goes to the English people, to the European, among the European English people, they emanated it and manifested more than others. Then they go around the world, their entire culture, as if they were on a training course by God to know what the planet looks like, to know all the details from everywhere. Why? Because God was looking for a contractor to build a new planet, built by English people. What is that planet? What are our countries? Canada, United States of America, Australia, New Zealand. These countries are made by England. Very, very amazing, really. To come down here at the time when there's no doctor, when there's no nothing. How much curious can you get? To come all the way down here to build Canada at the time where none of these things are there. And then setting in a standard so unique, so progressive, that the entire world wants to become the citizen of these countries. And look at the generosity of the British people. They immediately allow everybody else to come in. They let all the Europeans to come inside in Canada, all of the Europeans. Later on, they allowed, which I'm objecting at it. I'm from Iran and I object at it. I said this is too much of a process of getting too much mingling. That they slow it down. Now all the people from Middle East, China, India and Arabs, I'm sometimes thinking that the whole idea of Canada might topple if it go too fast, too far. But it just knows the generosity, the sense of sharing, the confidence. Action is the word that the British people had. Forever the planet Earth has to be